like masses, evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction, in the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Shaman Sundays. I'm your host, Brandon Cooper. How is everybody? I see there's a large crowd tuning in for probably a very controversial show. But let's get the sage lit first. Let's get rid of all that negativity that we're bringing in from last week, last year, whatever. And let's get rid of that crap with this good sage. So, a little bit about the show today. I ran the disclaimer, and I'll say it again. The views expressed by the guest do not necessarily reflect those of the host, the show, Supernatural Inc., or its parent company, Supernatural Inc. LLC. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. I think I covered everything. So, about a month ago, I was approached by a friend of mine that had some people that were looking for a platform to tell their side of the story. Now, I have always said from the very first day when I started, like August 4th, 2 years ago, doing podcasting, that if somebody wanted to come and use my platform to tell their side of the story, they are welcome. So that is the setup for the show. I will be moderating, and we're just going to get information out and see what happens. But first, let's say hello to everybody in the chat. We got Tabitha, threw that up earlier. Sunday Night Lights, correct. Russell, what's up, man? David Taylor, what's up? Our Haunted Lives tuning in. Larissa, the chicken lady, Mary Rex. Her sexy husband, Alan Rex. Know me. Tracy Rizzo, happy Sunday. It was so good to see you yesterday and hang out with you down at the event in Newberry. That was fun. But I didn't get home till like 3 o'clock in the morning. Tired. Hello, Stacy. Hello. Yes, I am your Nomi. Nomi. And this is Bigfoot with his gnomes. Just saying. It's a gnome thing. Hunts with Friends After Dark. Hey, what's up? Brian, hello. And then we have Becky Evans. What's up? So, and there's Resnack. And we have, good Lord. Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Right now, we have 33 live viewers for those of you sitting in the green room right now waiting. Just letting you guys know. We're at 33 and climbing. I'm going to say hello to Resnack, Amanda East, Annie Depp, Candle Witch Rachel. Hello, how are you? Speaking of Candle Witch, guys, I'm still working on my Headless Horseman. I mean, I still have my Krampus candle. You guys need to check out Rachel at her Candle Witch company. I mean, my God, I have so many of her candles. Wonderful products. We try to talk about hers whenever we can. Thank you for tuning in, Rachel. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring up Scott and Chris T, and we're just going to let them say what we're doing here. First of all, guys, welcome to the show. Christy, you're still muted. You're muted.
Go figure. Hi. Thank you for
Okay, there we go. So let's give the audience, which is still growing, by the way.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for showing up.
Let's give them just a little background on you two guys, and then we'll just dive into it. So Christy, I'm gonna start with you.
Okay.
A little background.
What do you want to know?
You used to be part of the paranormal team, right? Can you tell us about how you got into the paranormal, and then just quickly, and then tell us what team you were with, and then why you're here.
Yeah, sure. Just I've had like abilities and sensitivities my whole life, and then they really kicked in about teenage years. And I started, doing typical teenage stuff, reading all the books I could find, playing with the Ouija board, doing the
Right.
seances. And I've been doing it ever since. I didn't really get into like any kind of a paranormal community or anything until after my daughter came out as saying she has abilities too. I was trying to keep it as normal for her as possible. Um, and then found my way into the paranormal community. I did find Mary Jo and Penn Paranormal. That's where I met Scott. We were both on that team
Okay.
for probably a little over a year, I guess. And now Scott and I do our own thing with Schrodinger's Ghost and Pretty Little Creepy.
And Scott, we'll go to you. Tell us just a little briefly what got you into paranormal. Who was the team you're with?
I've been into the
We'll go from
paranormal
there.
for as long back as I could remember. When I was young, the house that we moved into had some activity. My parents, both my mom and dad, can tell you different stories that happened. Even when I was younger, 13, 14 years old, my mom used to chase me around, throw my Ouija boards out the windows and the doors, not letting it in the house or anything like that.
Right.
Like a lot of it say, my paranormal background started at 5 years old when I saw The Exorcist. But I've been a licensed private detective for 20 years. For 16 years, I've been running my own private detective agency out of Pennsylvania, out of Glenside, Pennsylvania, where I live. This has nothing to do with the paranormal. This is private investigation. I deal with legal attorneys, insurance companies, cheating husbands, cheating wives, all kinds of claims and everything like that. I've been doing that. I've been doing that for 20 years, and I've been doing the paranormal for a little bit longer than that. I back in 2019, I became a caretaker of a haunted location, and a friend of mine who knew Mary Jo Chudley was like, "Oh, she was in the paranormal." She said, "My friend's has a haunted location." She put us together, and that's how I met Mary Jo when she came out to the location that I was running.
Okay. And then we'll just dive into it. And we'll start with Scott this time. So why are we here today?
Well, God,
How do I turn that off? Sorry.
That's okay.
I got notifications binging.
Why are we here today? I'd like to tell our side of the story.
Okay.
See, we've been accused of a lot of things. Now, again, I am not in any way, shape, or form innocent. Okay, I have egged on, I have pushed, I've answered back to things that were said. I've been accused of a lot of things, and I'd like to answer those and explain some of those things. But for close to 3 years now, we've been everywhere. It just seems like people who we have never met are coming up and finding us and telling us things that are being said about me and Chris. And, you can't stop the stories from being told. But like, we don't have a platform. I'm not a public figure on Facebook. I have 500 friends. When somebody's shouting you off to 1 million or 500,000 people, or she don't have 500,000 people, but to
Right.
a number, how do I answer back? What can I do? And when you do answer back, you're just labeled a bully. You're labeled the abuser. Lately, I've been I'm evil. I'm a demon. She's good. I'm evil. There's a whole religious battle going on now. So that's why I'm here. I like to tell our side of the story and set the record straight for for who cares. And like I say, not everybody cares. People want to believe whatever they want to believe.
And same to you, Christy. Is it the same thing? You just want to get your story out there, or why are you here today?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, Scott and I are pretty much partners in everything we do, from both PI sides of things, from paranormal investigating, private investigating. We have each other's back, and I've watched him have to just respond constantly, match energy, defend himself and his name for like the past 3 years. And it hurts. You know what I mean? Like there's one thing when somebody's attacking you, but when you watch them attack your family or your friends, and it's not just Scott that's been attacked, it's been a lot of people. That's enough to make my shy butt get on a camera and back up my best friend. You know,
Yeah.
he doesn't deserve it. He's not the person that he's being made out to be. And it's just completely unfair.
See, I'd like to say one thing. I have an issue with Mary Jo Chudley. Me and Chris have an issue with Mary Jo Chudley. Mary Jo Chudley has made our issue all of her friends' issues. I don't like. I've been accused of getting people to attack, and we're going to get into this. But I've been accused of getting. I've never sent a single person after her. My issue is with Mary Jo Chudley. Mary Jo Chudley in the paranormal community has an issue with about 50 different people. I never did a thing to anybody else in the paranormal community for the people to go around talking. And honestly, I'm going to get this right off bat. I don't care. But the problem is, it's not about me. It's about, this is going on about other people as well.
There's a common denominator and a huge problem. He is not the only one who's been the victim of vicious assaults and attacks to a giant audience. I mean, literally like 500,000 people if you combine all the social media platforms. We're the sort of people that actively delete people off our friends list that we don't communicate with. I think I'm under like 400 people or something. I'm not out there looking to gather masses of followers and trash somebody's name, but we will come out and defend ourselves, defend our friends, stuff like that. And it's just been relentless, and it needs to stop. And people need to be aware that if they're going to be involved with her, they are subject to the same treatment eventually if something goes south.
Okay. And like I said at the beginning, I've always said that my platform is open for people that don't have a platform, which is, again,
that's appreciated. And thanks for having us. I don't know if I said that when we first started because I was on mute. But it's very much appreciated, because there was a good period of time when this all started that nobody listened to us or gave a crap what we had to say until it became a bigger issue from multiple people. And, you know, we've been saying it from the door. And it's just, now we're at the point where I guess people care to hear what we have to say for whatever reason they have. And I appreciate you, sticking your neck out and giving us a chance to just talk about it.
And now, before we get into the details, I do want to put it out there that I'm an equal opportunity host. Mary Jo, if you would like to come on and rebut what is said today, you are more than welcome. I give you an open opportunity to come on the show. Not that you probably will, but maybe you will. You're welcome. Everybody is welcome. If you have if you're in the chat right now and you have a different opinion, please put them out there. This is an open discussion. This is why when I told Chris and Scott that at the beginning, I was like, it's going to be live because we want to see what people have to say.
Yeah.
So that being said, if you have an opinion one way or another, respectfully, or as respectfully as possible, put it in the comments and we'll put it up, and we're going to look at all sides here. But now, that being said, who wants to go first? And starting now, you guys said you brought receipts. It's not hearsay, right?
Right.
Oh, we got receipts.
Well, then I will moderate from here on out. I will let you guys figure out where you want to start, and then we'll just keep going.
Well,
okay.
Chris,
you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start at the beginning.
Yeah, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
We'll kind of work through a timeline. I'm seeing the comments pop up. Sorry, I squirreled.
That's okay.
So the very beginning for me was my daughter got on the show Psychic Kids and filmed that. And then she was 12. She was only 12 years old. And then after that, she wanted to do more ghost hunting. She's finally old enough to be able to go out and do it in person. And she liked the filming. She wasn't quite thrilled with like the end result.
Right.
She liked the process that we went through for filming. So I said, let me look around and see if I can find a team that would be willing to have a child on that wouldn't be freaked out by that liability and those issues. And with Mary Jo being somewhat close to where we live and investigating someone in the area, I reached out to her, and she was like, immediately yes. And I said, whoa, hold on a sec though. Like, we haven't really met in person. I don't know you. Let's investigate together. See if we click, see if it works. So I invited her to an event and then a second event. And we were going to go along with the plan with like me and my daughter helping out the team, stuff like that. And of course, COVID hit. And I have major serious health issues. I don't have a good immune system. I had to go into lockdown mode.
Thank you, Brian.
And then my daughter wasn't a huge fan of doing like remote investigations. She wants to be in person. But I kept doing things for the team as far as like team medium remotely, reviewing evidence, sending clips and things for her to post on her social media because I'm home and people are going to work. You know, the rest of the team's like going to work. So I had the luxury of sitting at home and reviewing what I had watched the night before and screenshotted and time-stamped and sending clips and things like that. So fast forward through like our time working together. There's, I guess, a few things we're going to end up talking about, which is like one of her major hangups is like everybody on the team wanted to be a part of this Jenny McCarthy show that she went on. She screams about that all the time. I didn't see it that way. I didn't even go on the show. I wasn't even asked to be on the show, but I supported the rest of the team. I mean, this is my personal perspective. As far as I know, Scott didn't push to be on that show at all. So she thinks, you know, some of her claims have been that our heads got huge and this show made us want to be famous and ride her coattails on all her blood and sweat and tears and all this crap. Simply not the case. There's probably more details we could go over as far as the Jenny McCarthy show, but I'm just trying to get us up to date to where like we left the group.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
After that, the next occurrence that happened was Scott had a crazy paranormal experience at a haunted location, and it was recorded. It was a genuine paranormal experience. I'll let him explain it, but I'll just like give the rundown real quick. He's been accused of some horrible things having to do with that, but really what it boils down to is somebody had reached out to her to get in touch with him to film an episode of a TV show based on his experience.
Okay.
She did not disclose that she was contacted about wanting to speak to him until 2 days later. The same person found him directly and contacted him, I guess because she wasn't getting a response or able to talk to him. So she reached out to him directly. He had no clue that they had spoken prior. So Scott, like let Mary Jo know that he had been reached out to, and it didn't go over very well. I don't know if we should go into all the details of that story right now.
Yeah, do a little later, but
Yeah, we can come back
that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that didn't go over well, but it got smoothed over eventually. We continued all getting along and working together. The next thing that happened was we got a message notification that she was invited to, or Penn Paranormal was invited to join another team and other teams that were invited to a haunted location for an investigation, which just so happened to be my bucket list location.
Right.
It was a location that I went to college down the street from this place, drove past it every day. One of my favorite movies was filmed there. It was just always somewhere I just really wanted to experience. And so this message came across, hey, we have the opportunity to go there. You know, Chris, get your mask ready, whatever you got to do to be safe. Like, you're going to want to go to this. You're going to want to leave the house for this and all that. And I'm like, oh, how am I going to, I'm trying to figure out like the details. Can I distance? Can I wear a mask? Is that possible? Yes, it's possible. Then it started to trickle down to, well, I don't know. I mean, there's really only 2 of us that can go. So now your daughter can't go. It found out later because I ended up friends with the person that put on this event and invited her, that wasn't the case. That if I knew him and would have reached out to him, she would have been more than welcome. So it was almost like she was trying to get me to bail on it after dangling the carrot in front of me for a while.
Right.
And at this, through all this time, we are calling each other best friends. We were destined to meet, all the things that people say when they want to be close with you. I thought she was my best friend. I really did. And when the time came, about 3 days before the investigation, I saw a post go up that she was going on this investigation with her husband. Knowing that only 2 people can go, that told me I'm out.
Right.
So I hit unfriend. No blocks, no nothing. Just, you're not a friend. You're not a friend if you do that. So I just hit unfriend. I wasn't going to say another word about it. And the investigation came and went. I was never contacted. She never called me to say what happened. Nothing.
Okay.
Just went on this investigation, made a total shit show of the investigation, and did exactly what she was lectured not to do, which was try and talk the people who worked there into allowing her to come back and do another investigation with them. Buddied up with some of the other teams that were there, turned them against the person who created the event and invited her, ran off with them. Now they're family and they're best of friends. And he's the bad guy and she's trashing him. And I guess it was this, at this point, Scott's really mad. He's like,
well, can I?
This is the real reason he left. But go ahead, Scott. Go ahead.
Chris is a little nervous. So I just want to kind of sum this up because she's saying this really nice. So the location, I want to say exactly what it is Harrisburg State Hospital. And this was supposed to be one of the last locations at Harrisburg State Hospital. This was one of Chris's
they were going to tear some stuff down. This was the last opportunity to get in there.
So they're tearing it down. She loved this place. She talked about it a lot. Mary didn't even know about this place. Let me be honest. Mary knew very little about the paranormal when we even met her. Okay. And we'll get into, how she steals parts of everybody else's story to, tell her own story. But, so Mary contacts Chris to let her know we're getting into Harrisburg, so we're all excited. I wasn't even going to go to that. It was not long after an investigation we were at the USS Salem, and I was.
Can I just say hi to everybody real quick? Like, I'm seeing people I love in the comments showing support. They're like here to say hi, and I don't want to ignore them. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for showing your support. Go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
So I wasn't even supposed to go to the Harrisburg. I was actually going to be in New Orleans, and then I was going up to Chicago. So I wasn't even going to be around. I had nothing to do with the Harrisburg investigation. So Chris was excited. She was gonna. Now this was also during COVID. And this was March of 21, April 21, somewhere around there.
March 15th, I believe, was the investigation.
All right, March. Okay. So I wasn't even supposed to be there. She was excited. She wanted to find out if she could bring her daughter to the investigation. And Mary was like, all right, yeah, I'll find out and get information to you. And as the investigation got closer.
My daughter's locked down too. If they go out, they could bring stuff home to me. So
right. Okay.
A 12, 13-year-old kid to finally have the opportunity after being locked down from COVID to get out. It was a big deal for both of us. It really was.
Understood.
Sorry. So as the investigations get closer, I'm talking to Chris, and Chris is like, I haven't heard from Mary. I don't know what's going on. And next thing you know, like Mary's at the investigation with her husband. Now, let's make this straight. Penn Paranormal is Mary Jo, okay, and it's her team, so she can bring whoever she wants. But this is supposedly your best friend's your favorite bucket list location, and you basically just hung it and dangled it in front of her, knowing you weren't going to take her, and just dropped her like that, and then expected her to come running to you. So Chris just unfriended her at that point. And I was really upset because I had seen some things that, with Mary Jo over the previous months of being a team member with her. And I knew at that point, like, I just really didn't want to be involved with the team anymore,
He was
especially
catching
after,
on much faster than I did. I was a gullible fool. I believed everything she had to say about just whatever stories she was selling, and like it was stories about other people too. We'll get into that later, but
Mhm.
I trusted her. I did.
Yeah, so she,
Right.
she was going to take her, and then, next thing you know, Mary's at the location. Like, look, my bucket list is LaLaurie Mansion. If somebody told me, my best friend told me, hey, I'm going to get you into the LaLaurie Mansion, and we're going in a couple of days, and you're there, and I'm
Which
not
would
there.
be me. Can you imagine me like dangling that in front of you and taking
I,
that away?
I'd be
Please,
heartbroken.
please.
So like that's what happened. So I'm sorry. Yeah, you can.
Now, now, could this have possibly, because I'm going to have to play devil's advocate,
Go
Sure.
ahead.
could this possibly have been an oversight on her part?
No.
No, because
No.
like I said, I became friends with later on the leader of the whatever you want to call it of the team that put on the event. And
Yep.
when you start comparing notes and details, where I'm like, go back and ask, there was a gatekeeping situation going on. I couldn't talk to him directly myself. I didn't even know who he was leading up to
Right.
this to ask questions about safety and distancing. So later on, when we became friends, I'm like, help me make sense of what happened. And I found out the details of, no, you could have brought your daughter. We could have distanced. I was accused by Mary Jo of just wanting to get in there. Like, she told me somebody was filming something, and the most I did was say, what are they filming? Like, who for? Because I'm not a fan of being on camera, especially with a mask and everything. I was self-conscious. In fact, it was the opposite. Like, I'd like to try and stay off camera as much as possible, and just experience
I
the
get it.
location. And
Okay.
I definitely got some questions answered that I had about what really happened between knowing two people. And I ended up working with that group later on, doing investigations with them and mediumship stuff. So there was no misunderstanding. And it's a common theme. The story does not line up to the facts going forward through all the other instances she's been involved at. That there's a common denominator here, and it's her.
Got it.
That is the problem with the people and the situations that have been created.
So
right.
after that happened with Chris, how long after was the St. Albans?
2 or 3 weeks.
All right,
Oh, we
so
didn't even talk about the Salem. The USS Salem happened in there too.
well, we could talk about that because we're going to we're going to have Brandon read that rant, and after we tell this our story of what happened, and then how she kind of posted it, and then we can re-answer that. But 2 weeks after St. Albans, I was talking to Chris. I didn't immediately leave the team right there. We had to figure out a way. I had to get a video, the video of the US the Salem Inn. It was through Penn Paranormal, and that's one of the things.
Yes, Melissa. Melissa, I saw her comments. She did have an issue with her as well.
I do want to mention that later. But I had to get this video of the Salem. I knew once I left the team, she was never going to give it to me. And we had to figure out a way to like screen capture it. And unfortunately,
Hey, Don.
Hey Don, how are you? Unfortunately, I was only able to get the one last video. There's actually 8 other hours of video from that day with great evidence on it. That I'm never going to see, but I knew I had to get this. So we had to figure a way. So once we were able to do that, and say whatever you want. I stuck around longer to do this. I didn't steal it. This was my video, it was my evidence. I went on the investigation by myself. It was solo. She didn't pay for a thing. It just happened to go through the Penn page. And
yeah, he was there alone, recording with his own camera, having his own experience, and was kind enough to put it on her page.
Yeah.
But she wanted to lay claim to it.
Yeah.
So.
Got it.
So it was just we had to wait for that, and then St. Albans happened, and Mary got caught on her own live. Do you want to bring that up, Chris?
Yeah, sure. So, like I said, I unfriended her. I didn't block her. I didn't say a word. And 2-3 weeks later, she's doing an investigation at St. Albans alive. You know, people do that, catch your evidence. And there was a whole instance where she went into a room with somebody else who's in the chat and just trashed me. And then accused the person she was talking to of setting her up, recording it, sending it to us. And I posted a little Facebook post. I didn't say too much, but I basically said, you know, if your camera is able to pick up a ghost fart from across the room, you might want to talk shit a little further away. Keep my daughter's name out of your mouth. And maybe put a mirror in your bag of gadgets because you're the problem. That started the whole 3-year back and forth. How dare we? You know what I mean? How dare we call somebody out for lies and shitty behavior? But at the same time, she was trashing me. She was saying she had no problem with Scott. She loves Scott. He's great. Loves his dog. She is standing and talking to the person that she later on accused Scott of sleeping with on an investigation. Now, if you don't have a problem with Scott then, and it's weeks after this supposed incident that you're accusing her and Scott of, why do you have no problem with them? Why are you speaking to one and telling her that you're fine with the other? It never happened. That's why. You didn't think of it yet. So yeah, I mean, I heard what she really had to think about me. She also said that in that rant, we came to her to ask for help to get my daughter on TV. What really happened during that conversation that I had with her when we first joined the team was my daughter was just on TV. She thinks she's 12 years old. She's a child. She thinks she may want to do this in the future. And I told my daughter, if you want to do this in the future, you need to get some experience. You need to make sure this is really what you want, what you like. We were looking for a team that would allow her to be a part of whatever the heck they were doing. There was never, please help my daughter get on TV. We're stuck at home because of COVID and my health. There's no getting on TV anyway. They weren't even filming things at that point in time. And once they were, it's not like I'm trying to horn in on anything she's got going on. I really don't care. My daughter stepped back away from it, said, I don't like doing the remote investigations and I just want to be a kid and talk to my friends. And I'm like, of course, if that's what you want to do, that's a normal child thing to do. Preteen, teen, just hang out with your friends, whatever. I continued on with the group.
So do we have the clip to
do we want to play her talking crap clip?
Yeah, that's the receipt.
You talk for a while. I'm gonna have to dig it up.
Oh, okay. So all right.
I mean, yeah, we can. Just to Chris. Yes, we can. I mean, if it's a receipt,
it's
a receipt, and it just. But
I just don't know how to technologically accomplish this, but I'll figure it out.
Do you see the bottom of the screen?
You talk. I'll go look.
Okay. And then I will tell you at the bottom of the screen there, Chris, where it says present. Mm-hmm. Once you find it, you hit present and then screen share, and then it'll pull it up.
Should I minimize us all on this video to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll be back.
Scott, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so this night at St. Albans, I was actually lying in bed, and I was actually watching it, and I saw this actually happen live. And as soon as it happened, they left the room, and I called the person that they were with, and I just went off. Because it was so, it was a lie. There's nothing true about it. And it is so, there's people in the chat who I've seen, hello, and welcome. Thank you for coming up, that were teammates with Mary Jo before she even started Penn Paranormal. And these people will tell you from day one, all this woman does is just go someplace and try to buddy up with people. All she talks about from the time that I met her was who she knows, who's going to be on television, this, that. This was her You guys are upset over this. Sounds like you're in the middle school shit. Get some thicker skin, honestly. Well, thank you. Yeah, but if you listen to what we have to say, and maybe hear our side of the story instead of just listening to Mary Jo, maybe you can kind of get a clearer picture.
Yeah. It's not just about like back and forth drama.
Yeah,
We didn't get along. There's a lot more people that got hurt. This is a reoccurring pattern, a reoccurring theme. There are people whose mental health has been affected by her. There's people whose businesses
there
have
are
been affected by
people
her. Her reputation.
psychological games that this woman plays with baiting. Talk about going low. Like she talks about, I sent a video to her daughter. She's contacted people's daughters. She's contacted people's mothers. She's brought people's children up. This woman, she told somebody, I don't even want to say what she said to him about his wife passing away. I mean, the stuff that she says, there's no low. There's no low enough. I'll stick with her because I know, like, I'll stick with her. I don't care. When you go around accusing everybody in the paranormal that they want to be famous. Well, good. Keep on listening, Brian. Thank you for tuning in. So,
and other people who've been hurt by her will have an opportunity to speak if they want to come on here and say something. Absolutely. They're more than welcome to. We're not the only ones.
I do want to read this one. Rachel says, Chris and Scott, at what point do we move on from trauma? It's absolutely disgusting at the amount of hatred this field has for each other. I 100% agree with that sense.
I agree with that.
If you all have blocked each other, it should be a dead issue.
It should be. Ask her the same question, and our answer to that is now. This is it. This is the end. We're done.
This is it.
I'm done. We're getting our side of the story out, and I don't want any more to do with this.
Her friends and followers, they're going to be her friends and followers. They're going to listen. They don't care. They're going to, they're going to kiss her ass. And, whoever she plays victim with, whoever she gets into it next and, tries to trash their name and lie about them or try to trash their business, take credit for this or take credit for that. And she's going to move on and she's going to get in an argument with them. She's going to do the same shit she does to us. And then
all right, I'll tell you what.
And these people are going to sit there
let's move on from this and let's just keep getting the story out because this show's going to be all up in everybody's feels, and I get it. But let's stay on track, and then we'll just get it out. And then at the end, like if there's anybody that wants to say anything or come on the show, they're welcome to. But let's get all of your info out there, and then we can go back and talk about it and rant. But we'll move on to the next situation.
No problem. I have the video up if you want me to play it.
All right, so this is the video that was seen. Again, she's in a room. She's caught on a hot mic, and she's basically lying about Chris. She doesn't know she's on a hot mic, but she's, I guess, working out her story on a friend of ours. And this is it.
Well, it says I'm still trying to figure out how to do this. Well, shoot, I can share my screen.
Next time I should
try. It gives me the option to share a file or share my screen. I don't want to go looking for this specific file again, so I'll just share my screen this time. Okay. Let me hit the thing.
Yep. And then we'll get back to the comments after this.
Okay. Allow StreamYard to see your screen. Select window or screen. QuickTime Player. Oh, open system preferences and do something. Grant access. And security. I'm sorry, guys. It's going to take me a minute. It's the first time I've ever done this.
We are completely aware that people are going to show up in the comments defending us, trashing us, and that's not an issue. I don't care. Here's I don't want anything from the paranormal. I'm not trying to sell anything, and I don't want to buy anything from the paranormal. It's a hobby for me, and it's just something that I enjoy to do. I don't care to be part of the paranormal community. It's not a goal of mine. I've been accused so much that I want to be famous. I want that. It couldn't be further from the truth. But the person who's saying that other people want to be famous, If they didn't want to be famous so bad, they wouldn't be lying and trashing everybody that they think is in their way.
While she's well, Chris, we lost Chris, but while she's pulling that up, let's move on to the next incident that you were wanting to talk about.
All right. Well, I guess
Or do we need to wait on Chris?
Yeah, we
Here she
kind of.
comes.
Okay.
I tried to select the thing that lets me do it, and it kicked me out. So
Oh,
I shall try
no.
again. I will try again.
Okay.
Maybe I can share the file and do it that way. Mm-hmm. Talk amongst yourselves.
So after the St. Albans is really when
Here comes. I think.
Not investigate people. Why? You mind too much. Oh, you mean looking at yourself? It's difficult. The dog is adorable. But after dealing with Scott.
I actually miss Sundar. I do. I actually miss him.
Me too, and he's been messaging me. I do believe he's coming.
Where?
Next month.
I don't even know where the dog go.
I told him that if he's allowed to break in, he has to pay for the dog.
Where next was the prison? I don't think they're allowing it. Yeah, I don't think they're allowing it. That's just the thing. I think Scott knows that. That's what I took. I don't know. I'm not getting involved with what. It's not my. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, he's been messaging me, and he is planning on that weekend also coming down here on Sunday.
Here?
Saturday night and Sunday. Asked me if I want to go to it, what I think about it. It's gonna be a big old no. Pay for the hotel till Sunday after, just till Sunday at 11. Think I'm gonna freaking not take the bed and use it?
I don't know. I would say I'm trying to, I don't know. I don't know what to say at this point. Between Chris taking me off Facebook the way she did for no reason and wasn't adult enough to talk to me for no reason, I want to try them. I did everything wrong with him, you know. I did everything I can to help them, get him on TV, this and that, and this is how she repays me. Because he is not woman enough to actually tell me what happened and why she's mad.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't need you.
Yeah.
Never needed you. You needed me, so it is what it is. Yeah, I haven't talked to him. I have nothing against that at all. I just haven't talked to him either. It's been too busy. Shit. Okay. We'll be back. Let's go to the one room downstairs. I think we have everything, right?
How do I?
All right.
It went
So
away.
basically, you heard there, like she goes off on Chris. You know, she doesn't know why Chris blocked her. She, tried to get Chris on, I'll get you on television, this, that. Doesn't know why, you blocked me. I don't need you. I never needed you. No, we were friends. This wasn't about needing people. This was about a couple friends going out and ghost hunting. Then at the end, she had him hear from me. Is there like some kind of a buzz or something? But I'm sorry. That she hasn't heard anything from me. She's got nothing against me or whatnot. I quit the team the next day. Again, me and Mary had words, and it was a little bit back and forth, and there were other things going on as well. But I quit the team the next day.
It escalated after this, though. For people that are like, "That's it," that was the start. That is not it. That is definitely not it. The texts he got following this, the threats, that was just the opening situation that started it not being a cordial split and a back and forth mess.
So we kind of announced that we were leaving Penn, and we put out a post, and she threatened us. You can't use any of the videos that I did through Penn, and it's all her stuff, and I can't use the Salomon stuff. And that's what. Don't worry about it, Brian. We don't really need your opinion. And we understand Mary's going to send you out to kind of.
Actually, I'm gonna have to twist that you are welcome to your opinion, Brian, here in the show.
Yeah, sure.
Now, if y'all have issues with each other, that's fine, but we
I
cannot
don't
go
even
back and forth.
We have
I
no
don't
idea who
even
that
know
is.
On the
this guy. I have no idea who he is. I never met him.
Okay.
We're not friends
It's
on
fine, and
Facebook.
he is entitled to his opinion.
Yeah,
He just
absolutely.
doesn't have the whole story yet.
I don't care. If
Right.
he's entitled to his opinion, I don't really care about his opinion. So,
Fair.
uh, okay. So, that's Danger. Hey, Danger, what's going on, man? I'm sorry, where were we at?
You were saying about when you quit and
All right. So I,
Yes, yeah.
so I quit and everything, and we put out a statement that we were leaving, and she threatened us, and don't use this, don't use that, and then she followed our statement with the statement that I'm going to ask you to read, where this is where it started. This is absolutely where it started. Now you actually heard what happened. She got upset because Chris got upset because she got screwed over on an investigation that should have been her bucket. It was
It
her
wasn't
bucket.
even the investigation screw over. It's the fact that somebody called me
It's
their
like-
best friend and I trusted just
Yeah,
it hurt. It hurt.
was
You know
right.
what I mean? I wasn't even mad at the time. I was just like kind of in shock. Like, how? Why? What'd I do?
So that's why. So that's why Chris left. She was devastated over what happened with Mary. After I heard that, I quit, and that was it. That was really it. She follows it with what we're going to ask Brandon to read, and this is her side of what happened when Penn Paranormal broke up. So
Well,
you
there
heard our
was
side.
even before that rant though, there was a back and forth text exchange between the two of you with quite a few threats.
Yeah.
Um yeah, so I'm just kind of looking through them right now, but obviously you don't have a right to use
Yeah, but
anything
let
that you
Brandon read.
recorded.
Let Brandon
Sure.
read the
Sure, go ahead.
please.
Yeah, I'm trying to find because it's quite long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there it is. I am going to have to figure out how to make this a little bit bigger so I can read it. So, let's give a shout out to everybody that is in the chats. Yes, this is an open forum for both sides, both opinions. Let's just keep it civil in the chats. I'll keep it civil on this end, and I think we'll get to some sort of something. God, this is so long, but it's so. Let me see if I can print it. If I can print it, I can go downstairs and get it.
Or I could just send
And
you
the
like
people.
a Word document, which might be easier to read. I don't know what you're looking at.
I mean, I got it. I got an image. So maybe a Word document might be a little bit easier. Yeah.
I think I have one here.
Or can I do it like that? Oh, I can. Oh, never mind. I can squeeze in. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my screen so everybody can read along with me. So everything is transparent on my end. Let me just get to the top here. Okay. Share screen. Facebook. Is it not gonna? That's not what I want to share. All right. I'm working on it. If you guys will just keep talking just for a minute.
You don't want that.
I apologize.
We'll be
There
on
it
to
is.
subject number 4 by the time you get ready and back.
Guys, I can't. I don't know how to share this, but if anybody wants to see this, let me
I
know
can
and I
put
will
it
send
up.
it to them.
I can put it up.
Okay,
The
because for
the document
some
if you'd
reason my
like.
screen shares. Yeah, I'd
Let
like
me look.
for.
I did it once. Maybe I can do it again.
Oh wait,
No,
maybe
maybe
I can.
not. It's giving me slides and video.
Maybe I can't. Is it not going to share? I guess not. Well, that's crazy. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to read this, okay? So this is from.
This was posted on Facebook.
I guess it was a response to us saying about
Okay, so
St. Albans.
it says, this is from Mary Jo Chudley's page. Okay, hello all. Hello all. Hope all is well. Quick post, and I hate to do it because I'm not into this drama BS. But some of you might already know, or already been reading these remarks slandering me and my paranormal group by some ex investigators that were once with me. I'm going to assume that she is talking about Chris and Scott. I sat back for 3 days and let the two children pout and complain, and I couldn't take it anymore due to the large response I got and several messages forwarded to me. So the main reason for all of this is we will start with a little intro. And this is so long. But I mean, if it's her getting her story out, that's fine. Penn Paranormal Society is my group. Nobody helped me with the page. Nobody helped me with the events. Nobody helped me getting people to attend. Nobody ever gave me money or helped pay for anything. It's 100% all on me, along with all my social media. Nobody helps me with any videos or footage that I have filmed or got lives. They may be in a live when I was filming or when they were on an event. In parentheses, she said that y'all were at the event for free as a Penn Paranormal Society investigator, or had asked to do a live while they were in the area alone on my page, and as a Penn PS, a Paranormal Society, I assume. Even stating this is a Penn PS in the intro. I met one of the one female investigator. She came to me asking if I could help her daughter get into the paranormal because she wanted her back on TV. Do you want to respond there, Christy?
I already said my part on that.
Okay. I said I would help her, and her daughter only came out to one event. The rest she attended it. The rest she attended it herself, but she always made it clear she wanted to be on TV and went to the bigger groups to have them help her out. I also want to say while I'm reading this chat, I cannot see any of the chats. So I will come back and I will catch up, I promise. So then she goes on to say, the comes, I'm going to think, she meant to say, then comes the male investigator. We found each other from a friend. He wanted me to come out to a place he was working at, abandoned senior citizen home. I did. He kept telling me he just wants to ghost hunt. That is all. He came in on a few places with me. He knew nothing about paranormal equipment. He only had a camera he used for, but never used it. He said he'd been doing this for 20 years, but I am sorry. Going on vacation and taking pictures of a haunted house. Our location is being a paranormal investigator.
I don't know what that's about.
So a while back, yeah, but I'm going to assume that was you. So a while back, I was asked by Jenny McCarthy's show, and only me to do a show about the dolls I have and all the posts I did along with my TikTok, Facebook pages. But as a team leader, I said to them, I want my entire team on there. They are with me and Penn. I fought for them, almost losing out on the show, but got them on the show. It was awesome and went great. Then started the jealousy. Well, after that, they had their 15 minutes of fame from my sweat, my hard work, and my story. They only wanted to be on TV and get more likes and followers. They were fighting who would do the lives, etc.
I don't even know. We were fighting to do like I don't even know what that's what she's supposed to mean. I
think
like to talk about like where she talks about in that where about what happened to me at the Salem Inn.
Yeah, I'll get there. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm having some sort of technical difficulty on my side. Give me 2 minutes.
Sure.
how about I come right back too, because I got to use the restroom.
Sure.
So I'll shut my mic and camera off for right now.
Okay. So I guess I don't know if I'm live or not, or if I'm not, but I'm gonna act like I am. Yeah, when I've been doing this 25 years, if nor I've been involved in the paranormal, or not involved in paranormal, just doing the paranormal. I've been telling people for years, paranormal activity or paranormal investigation and paranormal community have nothing to do with each other, and these things should be kept far away from each other.
Sorry about that. Okay, so where was I? How do I keep losing? Oh, you got to be kidding me. That's what I thought would happen. All right, hang on. I got to pull it back up.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Okay. So, continuing with the post from Mary Jo Chudley on her Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So now we will fast forward a few months ago. The female member gets mad and took me off Facebook because I had been invited to an event. Excuse me. At State Hospital, nobody gets into. It was going to be getting demolished, and she wanted in so bad. I was only allowed one guest, me and her, nobody else. Well, a few days before, I find she was bringing her underage daughter. I told her she couldn't. It was only too loud, and the buildings are not that safe. I reached out and told her that her daughter could not go, being the place was unstable and filled with mold. But she also had found out they were filming it and wanted to get themselves back in the spotlight. So she got mad at me and blocked me. So I was okay with that. I knew she was only using me. So
Again, that's a big thing. That's a big theme that you'll hear over and over again is that this person's using me, that person used me, this person only wanted me for my connections, this person this person that, I did this, I did that.
Can I say something?
Yes, of course.
The part in there, you're going to hear a lot of my's,
Yeah,
mine, me, things like that. She says that everything was hers, everything was done by her, nobody helped her. That's not true. She had the big dreams, the big goals. And there were 2 other people on the team for a lot of the time that we were working with her. There were lives going up from people, team members, where she wasn't there. Everybody was contributing to putting content on her social media. Her following kind of started there. And there was TikTok started at some point where we ended up on the TikTok videos and we're never even told. But I told you previously that I was at home reviewing the live, sending her clips. There's a lot of stuff that went on her social media that she wouldn't have even caught or knew happened if I wasn't sitting at home listening with my headphones on, catching EVPs, isolating these clips, sending them to her to post on social media. I personally was supporting her dreams of getting this attention without asking for anything in return. I made a lot of videos for her. There's a lot of screenshots I have of posts of her thanking me and texts thanking me for everything I do and how hard I'm working and how much I'm helping and how great I am and how much she loves me and all this stuff. So to turn around and say that everybody's just riding her coattail and trying to get famous off of her hard work, her sweat, her blood, whatever she's saying, is completely false. Scott and the other team members are out there putting up lives, going to locations, doing investigations on Penn's behalf. As we're a team, like that's what we're supposed to do. We're all supposed to work together for a common goal, and she is team leader. Her goal was to get on TV, to get more followers, get more likes, and we supported her in that. We weren't trying to take that from her. We were trying to help her with it.
I mean, we were doing me and two other team members that lived out by the Gettysburg area. I mean, like we were doing paranormal investigations live, a couple times a week. Mary wasn't even involved with them. It's not even about like who was doing this. Like, I don't even care about that. Like it's that was all for likes and followers. That wasn't a goal. My goal wasn't to, get likes and followers. My goal was to just go out and investigate and try to get some evidence.
Just experience the paranormal.
Right.
With people. I mean, we had a good time when we were all together. We had an absolute blast.
When things were
all
good.
on the same page, having the time of our lives, just having fun and getting good evidence and sharing it with her to share on her social media. Everything went by her. Like, hey, here's this. Do you want to post it? Go ahead.
Right.
It was all good natured for the longest time.
I'll go ahead and continue reading this.
Please.
And then I finally figured out how to get it up on the screen for everybody. So I will scroll back up in a second and show you. Yeah. Okay. Where am I at? Now our event. So I will scroll up to show you where the top of this is, so you can see what I'm reading from. Okay. Now let me scroll back down. Okay. Wait, did I read that? Yep. Oh, here we go. Now our event. A few weeks ago, I had an event in Salem, all done by me. Event, time, guests, and food. He, male investigator, was supposed to take a group around along with me the following day for the private event. And if so, the day before, we would be able to investigate the ship alone the first night. Well, he spent the entire night trying to put our lives on his page and spotlight his dog. Oh, that's weird. While trying to hook up with guests, and embarrassed me by hounding people about other groups, married women. Meanwhile, the second night, more of the same.
It was a 2-night thing. So that was the first night on the ship. Okay, so I have some stuff to say about that night. Okay, all right. So we were doing a 2-night investigation at the USS Salem. Love that place. The first night it was supposed to be us and the Boston team, and the second night Mary Jo is hosting an event. So the first night, and I hope the people who were on the ship that night remember, we were supposed to meet up at a certain time. I got there. We started investigating. Mary Jo shows up 2 hours late. Comes in, like a rock star and kind of stops everything because now we have to get her in and whatnot. So we ended up investigating that night. We slept on the ship for 2 nights, which was really, really an amazing experience. So the next night was the big event on the USS Salem, her big event. So I'm sorry. The first night, if you go up, she said the entire night. I want to. Sorry about that. Putting lives on my page, I don't even know what she was talking about.
Because I think you had started Schrodinger's Ghost at that point, and that was
Schrodinger's Ghost. I had started like 7 months prior, back in September of 21.
But it wasn't allowed. You're not allowed.
Oh, right? Yeah, I wasn't allowed
to run lives on your own page.
So she's talking about spotlight his dog while trying to hook up with guests and embarrass me by hounding people and other groups of married women. So I'm trying to hook up with guests and hounding other groups of married women. The only people on the team that first night was me, Mary, and the Boston team. I asked Don about one of the investigators who was cute, and I asked him is, you know, what's her deal? What is she married or not? You know, what, you know, is she taken, you know? And that's me hounding people in other groups of married women because she's married. Don said she's married. So she said all
That was
that.
that.
Was
That was that, though. Like, you have to say, like, you asked if she was available.
I said,
You
I
were
see, yeah,
told she was not available, and that was it.
and that
You
was it.
dropped it.
So from there, that was me hounding other people's married women, and
This would have been what,
and
early
trying to and
2021?
trying to sleep with people. You know, that's not even remarkably, that's not even close to being true. Nothing like that even close
That's a hell
happened.
of an accusation.
That,
For any man who's involved in paranormal investigating in the dark overnight with women, you better have your facts straight. You don't accuse men of being inappropriate with women unless it actually happened, and it did not. Nothing happened. In my opinion, as a woman, that's about the most respectful way to go about it. You don't walk up to somebody and just freak them out. You wonder, you kind of inquire if they're even available first, and then drop it if they're not.
yeah.
I didn't find anything terribly offensive or let alone harassing about that.
So then she says,
Personally, that's just me.
so then she says, all right, the second night, more of the same. He did absolutely nothing but walk around trying to spotlight my newly made ghost case. That night, I did use my page because she was on the Penn page and I was investigating a different part of the ship. So I used my page because I couldn't go on Penn page. It was about investigating evidence. It wasn't about I'm on my. It wasn't competition. Like there's no competition, but
So-
You
got-
have no contract.
Yeah. So Tabitha's asking, was there a contract?
no, there's no contract, but
None. There was no paperwork signed. There was no rules laid out. It was fly by the seat of our pants. When are we going to upset her next? Now, what's she
this was
mad?
about 3 years ago, but it's still going on. That's the issue.
And also, let's say for just the sake of time, let's go ahead and cover the recent stuff.
Well, can we just finish? Can we finish this?
Do you want to
Because
finish this? Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to get to what she says about me at the USS Salem.
All right,
I mean,
here we-
at the Salem Inn. But the second night on her big event on the USS Salem, where I was supposed to be taking a group around, 3 people showed up to her fucking event. There were only 3 people that showed up to her big event. Her friend bought 3 of her children. Some guy
Dawn's on here and said that's exactly what happened.
the
And I
second
think saying that to you, Scott.
Thank you, Don. The second, there was another guy who came, the girl brought 3 of her children. One guy came and he wanted to investigate with Mary, and our friend Dietrich from Penhurst came. So Mary took 2 people around, her friend and the guy from Penhurst, and I wasn't taking any of her friends' teenage daughters around a dark ship. I wasn't going to put myself in that position. So me and
All right,
my
let
friend
me
went around.
let me go ahead. Okay, let me go ahead and read some more of this.
Okay.
I'm trying to hook up against embarrass me by hunting other people. Okay, we read that. Meanwhile, on the second night, more of the same. He did absolutely nothing but walk around trying to spotlight his newly made ghost page at my event. Did not help with any guest. Paid 0 attention. Sleep, eat, and promote his crap on my dime. But the main reason why he is pissed is I had a show contact me. Actually, Penn, P.S. They wanted to talk to him about the Salem Inn where he supposedly got possessed.
Never said that. Those words never came out of my mouth.
I told him he can. I told him he can talk about it, but he isn't allowed to use the footage. He got mad. He said he will use it. I can't do nothing about it. Well, let me fill you in on that footage. The male was high on weed and mushrooms and acid. Well, that's a combination. Let's go ahead and hit that one. Okay, so I mean, I call that a good night, but that's probably not right. What's going on here with the
Well, I mean, I don't really even want to try to. I don't want to talk about what happened at the Salem Inn. It's not what this is about. But there was a situation in the room. Everything was caught on video. The police were called. It was, it was an event. It was something that happened. It was an amazing paranormal experience that I had. I never experienced anything like it. And her way to dispute it, debunk it, and basically is pissed off.
And lay
that-
claim to it.
I'm sorry.
She was trying to lay claim to your
And,
experience.
I
don't
she
think
didn't want me
that's
to use it.
being super clear right now. There was like a 20-minute period where I would call it more of a spirit jump situation. Whatever it was a paranormal experience. He was affected by something. He stopped responding, making noise. The cat ball's going off all this time, and people called the police for a wellness thing. Like they were worried something happened to him because he wasn't really responding to us anymore. And the police did show up and just checked on him. Are you okay? I mean, they're Salem police. They've seen people get into paranormal predicaments before. That's what the officer
What the
said.
police officer actually said to me.
And he has the police report. There was nothing brought up about drugs or any kind of wrongdoing. They simply showed up just to make sure he was okay.
But that's
Okay.
that's her thing.
So,
That's her way
yeah.
to debunk you and make you
There was no
as an evil person. Is he's a drug addict? It's just a way to just to throw a label on you. And she's done it to other people. I mean,
And this
it's
is
done
where
it to
it's not just drama. When somebody's accusing you of being inappropriate with women on investigations, someone is accusing you of overdosing and being possessed, but then also trying to lay claim to the footage. That's taking it too far. That's anybody in this paranormal community is subject to the same sort of accusations going forward if she doesn't like how things work out between the two of them. And those are some big accusations that can ruin your family, can ruin your job, not just paranormal stuff.
I mean,
that
that
you don't
is-
say that about people.
Right. Yeah.
That is pretty dirty. You just don't, even if you were high on all that, I mean, that could get you fired or.
And it's
I
simply
mean, that
not true.
I could see.
It's a lie.
I could see where that effect.
So it's not okay. It's just not okay to say
I mean,
that.
to this day, she's still everywhere. And I don't care. Like like Mr. Shrooms is Shroomologist, Mushroomologist. That doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. And I'll admit, I mean, I've done mushrooms and I smoke weed. But if you watch the video, if you're into the paranormal and you watch the video, you kind of know that it's not mushrooms.
That is not what happened that night.
You
Not
know,
at all.
But just to label that and throw it out there and put your name out there like that, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Let's see. I will try to wrap this up so we can actually get to some receipts.
Yeah,
here.
we do have a lot of stuff to talk about. We want to talk about the doll situation.
He's lucky he didn't overdose because he stopped breathing in the middle of the live, then woke up crying. That is why the cops are called and Salem Inn. They will not let him back in.
I've been
only
back
way
since.
The only way he can, if his sister lies, puts it under her name for him.
I just want to say the second time I went back, there was a couple months after my first time. After I had that experience, the cops were called, and I did call and I did put it under my sister's name, just to the fact that because my name was there, the police were called and everything, just so there weren't any issues. And I also didn't want anybody calling and messing it up for me, because I know Mary at the same time. This was right at the end. No, this wasn't at the end of it. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. The second time when I was putting it under my sister's name. Yeah, that was the time when they were starting to build some tension between the group. So I also put it under my sister's name, so somebody can mess with the investigation or the location, call and do anything like that.
Yeah, she has a habit of trying to get your investigations canceled too, if she doesn't like you.
All right, picking up. So, no, you all now. Okay, so now.
You all know the truth.
People, yeah, it took me a second. People who know him know what he does. He does this every time he goes to location. That's why I took his Penn page rights away, and he wasn't allowed to do lives and more on Penn. And he opened up his Facebook page to do his lives because of him faking evidence and his drug use. I'm sorry, but I had to clear my name here. Penn will not be a part of that. And the footage he was going to use was going to be used as a Penn video. I was not going to lose another friend or contract because of this. So I put my foot down and said, no, we're almost there, everybody.
Yeah, it's
My name and Penn Paranormal Society will not be attached to any of this crap. So from that point on, I had been getting nothing but lies and remarks on his page towards my page, my name and page since then. I will not have any fake spirit jumping to lies attached to my name. Go get, what is that, sloshed?
Go get sloshed.
Got it.
Yeah.
Some other place and pretend to be possessed on someone's blood and sweat. Then messaging all my friends and slandering my name and telling lies.
Never did that at this time when she was doing that. Never once did that.
For the people who know me, you know I bust my ass for paranormal, for families, for newbies in the field. I wake up and work all day and night to help and keep the paranormal going. I'm not in this for fame or money, and I am clearly not jealous of these two. Never was, never will. Sorry, I've been ridiculed for days by these two. Now the other one on his page starts talking with his internet wife. She tells him,
Chris is supposedly my internet wife. She has a habit of going around and accusing people of infidelity and sleeping around and not being faithful to their partners. She has a real habit of doing that.
George, we're getting there, I think. JK, what's up, buddy? Investigate alone on there, right?
I most of my times I do investigate alone.
That's okay, Anne-Marie. Maybe that's what she believed. I think that was from earlier. Maybe.
Well, she knew it wasn't a drug overdose because she was out there making TikToks of the video. Somebody told me there's TikToks on all over TikTok of you like crying and stuff because of what I experienced and what I was going through. And I actually had to start a TikTok page just to go see the videos that she was posting. I didn't know I was all over social media, but you see, none of this is it's not about this. It's about just, I don't care about the video. It's not about, I don't care about my views. It's about that somebody is so easily just to say, oh no, this is a drug overdose, or no, he's lying, or, it's just a complete bullshit made up story. So,
well, Scott, in there it says that the reason she took us off the page or you off the page was because she won't be associated with these things, like some moral high standard. That is not why she took us off the page.
No, she took us off the page.
That will lead us more into her haunted demon doll story.
Well, please, why don't we wrap this up and get into the demon doll?
Yeah, I'm wrapped on this.
And then let's get to some of the more recent stuff too, because we're working on our second hour right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping to go a little quicker than this, but the thing is, it's the team broke up for 3 years. All I've heard, and everybody's all she said about me is I'm a drug addict. I'm this
on multiple podcasts. It's not just this one post. She's a drug addict constantly.
Podcast. I'm a licensed private detective, not paranormal, but private detective. I get FBI background checks done on me every 2 years just to keep my license in order. For somebody to just go around, like, I've worked hard for my reputation. I don't give a fuck about my reputation in the paranormal, but for my reputation in private investigation, that industry, I've worked hard. I got 20 years building my reputation in that. And some woman's going to come in here and all of a sudden don't know me and just start lying and bullshitting about me. And I'm a drug addict. I'm this, and trying to ruin my reputation just because I walked off the team and didn't give her the satisfaction she wanted. Is it slander and defamation? Yeah, it's slander and defamation that she's going around and doing that. Can I sue her for that? I probably could sue her for that, but she's got no proof. Am I going to sue her? No, probably not, because I don't even want to be bothered by it. But again, it's not about me. It's about all the 50 other people that she does the same exact stuff to. You know,
All right.
it's not about us. You know, it's about Amanda East, who she attacked and lied about Amanda East. You know, it's about it's about the demon house, how she went out there and, you know, because the demon house, and that's a whole nother story, but because the demon house, Jay and Elke had me on their friends list. And this is how crazy it is, because I'm friends with them on Facebook. She went ballistic and threatened to, if they didn't take me off their Facebook friends list and unfriend me and block me, and also Matt Warner and Matt Kondrecki and there's another person that we're all working together to destroy her, which I'm friends with Matt Warner on Facebook. I don't know him, but I've never met him. Like she's got something going on her head that we got this whole thing and we're going after her. It's ridiculous. And even the people at the Enfield house, like he contacted me and he's like, I don't know you, but like, can we talk? He's like, this woman has been saying this about you and this about you. You're a drug addict. I ruined her life. I destroyed her family. And he's got text messages that he's actually going to send me. And it's ridiculous. You know, like I didn't do anything. Again, I don't care, but she does this to other people. And then because the Enfield house didn't want to unfriend me, he's like, I'm running a business. I don't want to just unfriend them. She threatened to, destroy their reputation and try to destroy their business. And then went out and put out a whole review of her investigation of the place, saying like she debunked it. It's this. It's it's not that. There's
I
rabbits
just
running
bashed them
around
in their business,
trashing the place.
called them psychos and all kinds of stuff
That's
in her
not the
posts
only
and
place he's
comments.
done it to.
What are some of the recent events that have happened that we want to talk about?
Well, I'd like to. I want to tell the story of her doll. What really happened with her doll?
We're gonna need a break before that.
Okay. Let's take a little 5-minute break. Guys, stick with us. I'll go ahead and pull you guys down and I'll do my little thing. 5 minutes, we'll be back. Guys, stick with us. Thank you for watching Shaman Sundays. We are trying to keep this moving along. I will continue putting up comments when I get back. Let's put a little background music because I need a soda. And we'll be right back. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. Sorry it took me a little bit longer. I have a dog that just wanted to be petted. So, without further ado, let's bring back Scott and Chris. Welcome back, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Sorry, it took me a little bit longer. My German Shepherd was like, "Nope, you got to pet me first."
Did I zoom in or did you zoom in?
You have it. It looks like you have
I
an
zoomed
awesome
in.
pic.
It was me. I'm sorry. Anyway, I think we've covered enough of like just us. We should move on to the other stuff of the lies and deception, debunk some stories.
Let's do that. And yes, my background is a bear. I know it's a creepy background, but it's a bear. Sorry. Go ahead.
Let's debunk some lies and deceptions here. Move on to some of the other stories.
All right, let's do that.
As I don't think it's that important. I don't think a lot of people really care how scorned we've been or how hurt we've been. There's other people's stories that would probably need to be told, or they, it's a pattern. That's just what happened to us. This has happened to other people. But let's move on to like the haunted dolls,
Okay.
the possessed dolls. The reason that we were taken off the Penn page would be because she got an offer to be on a television show. So May 9th, 2021, we got the text message that we're no longer going to be on the Penn page. By May 26th, there was an announcement made that she's going to be on a show, a big show. What's that, Scott?
I'm sorry. I didn't care that we were being taken off the Penn page.
No. We things were already going downhill anyway. But I think, it's pretty obvious that by the when you're on a TV show, there's like a whole lead up to signing a contract and being allowed on a show.
Right.
So to me, it makes sense that by May 9th, she would have known or have been contacted or working on this, going on a haunting about her dolls. And we weren't supposed to be included or we weren't wanted. So she started to like pull away. We were there. We were there when she got the dolls. We were there when she was in the hospital with the dolls. And the doll, Lily, she didn't try and kill her. She didn't put her in the hospital. She had a health issue that put her in the hospital. She'll swear up and down that the doctors didn't know what was wrong and couldn't find a reason, but I do have a text from her saying that her doctor said the reason that her iron was low was because of a medical procedure she had years prior, and it made her anemic. So she wasn't able to absorb iron. That, and there is a lawsuit that is publicly available where she tried to sue her employer for time off of work because of this procedure and complications from it. And, it's the number one complication from this procedure is low iron. It's just a very common thing. It can drop your hemoglobin. It can drop your iron. You can end up in the hospital and you can need a blood transfusion. And it just so happens that she went in the hospital shortly after she got the dolls, but the dolls were not the cause of her going in the hospital. But she's going to stick with that story probably till the day she dies because it got her on TV. That's not the reason why. And according to, she says her doctors don't know and would agree with her that maybe the dolls caused it, and that's ridiculous. No doctor would say that.
Fair.
I don't know if there's more details to that haunted doll story, but I mean, I have a website. If you Google complications for this surgery, you will find that is the number one complication is low iron and being anemic. And a lot of people are anemic prior and don't really realize it. And then when they have this procedure, they become anemic. So I have the text. She knew why she was in the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, she was in the hospital. She was sick for months. There were investigations that she couldn't go on because she was sick, but she got the dolls, and 7 days later, she was in the hospital. And, a couple months later, everything happens between us. And, not too long after that, she's going to be on television. Now, we've been, again, she keeps saying over and over again, we're jealous. We wanted to be on television. It's all jealousy. That's just what it is. It's jealousy. Nobody's jealous. The story is not true. There's nothing true about the story. There's just so much detail to it to get into every little piece. But, from the Jenny McCarthy show, how she got the dolls, why she got the dolls, there's 3 or 4 different stories about that. Long story short is the reason why that she was in the hospital was because of the surgery. It wasn't the doll. She knows that. We have tons of evidence to prove it, but like to kind of put everything up on the screen it's just going to take forever.
If somebody really wants to see that stuff, we'll put it up. I just don't want to bore the crap out of people. I think we maybe talked a little too long about the beginning part up until this point. So for time's sake, maybe if somebody wants to see it, we'll put up that stuff.
Yeah, but so to catch up with the doll story, and other people know what happened because they were around too. 7 days before she got the doll, there was an episode of Howard Stern, and this was back in 2020, and he had Joey King on.
2021, I think, actually.
2020,
it was like August 11th, 2021. Howard Stern had Joey King on.
Was it? It was 7 days before she actually got the doll. The dolls that she got.
Joey King was like a child actress that was in.
She was in The Conjuring. She was an actress in The Conjuring, and in the interview with Howard Stern, she talks about how during the filming of The Conjuring, she suffered low hemoglobin and stuff like that, and she had to get infusions and whatnot. And it's just funny that Mary Jo at the time was just obsessed with The Conjuring, and that 7 days later she got the dolls. Asked Chris to read the doll for her. Chris was the first person to read the doll. We'll get into that too.
Oh, that's another good point about the dolls.
And 7 days later she was in the hospital. The Enfield pizza will give you some demons.
What was my point of that? With the oh shoot, say what you just said again. I forget.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, Joey King was on the episode of Howard Stern. 7 days later, she got the doll, and then 10 days later, she was in the hospital with the same situation that Joey King was also talking about from the Howard Stern show. So we kind of thought that was kind of interesting.
Well, this Joey King interview was posted in some Pennsylvania paranormal groups. And was liked. This article was liked by someone she was currently keeping a very close eye on constantly that she didn't like. I don't know, but the thing is, like, she's constantly saying that. Oh God, I keep losing my train of thought. I'm sorry. Where am I going with the doll thing? Every time you say it and I think of it, you keep going and then I forget it.
And again, we're not saying the doll's not. We're not saying the doll's not haunted. We're just saying the doll's not demonic, and this whole demon craze has got to fucking stop. The whole demon craze.
Go back and look at this and try and figure out where I am on this.
What does the dolls have to do with us? That's a really good question, because the doll story is not true. What happened to me at the Salem Inn was a true event that was actually caught on video.
All right, I got it.
Is nothing that I'm trying to be famous for. I don't care if anybody sees it, but she went out, tried to promote that. Then when I left the group, put up on Facebook all over the place that, I'm a drug addict, that this was a drug overdose. She told somebody that this was a failed suicide attempt. She said the police were called. I'm lucky I wasn't arrested. She said, I'm lucky that I didn't die. It was nothing even remotely like that. So she's going to blatantly lie about that with no proof. She wasn't there. Even if it was a drug addict, even if it was, she wasn't there to even prove it. There's no proof. There's no evidence. So for her to just go out and blatantly say that, but then to go out and take her story. Meanwhile, she was in the hospital, I think, 2 weeks after I had the situation or what happened with me at Salem Inn. So the thing is, we were all friends at one time, and then she's going to go out, accuse somebody of, something horrible. Now, drug addiction is a serious matter, and to go out and falsely accuse people of that just as a way to discredit them, that's horrible. It's horrible, whether it happens to me or anybody else.
Go ahead, Chris.
I remembered.
What
One
is
of the common themes in her story is that she never wanted to have haunted items in her house. She would never do that on purpose, and that she wanted a dress for her mom's doll. And after her mom passed away, she wanted to get a new dress for the doll and redo the doll. And then she just so happened to get this evil doll that tried to kill her. That's not what happened. If you want a dress for your mom's doll, you don't answer a Facebook Marketplace listing literally titled Demons Dolls. You don't go out the same day you pick up your Demons Dolls and bring your K2, get a video camera to start recording them. And you certainly don't buy another one off of eBay the same day that is titled Haunted Doll, Possibly Dangerous, to bring home. She was looking for a story to get on TV with.
She was looking to sell a story, because when you knew Mary Jo, especially back in that time, that's all she talked about was getting on television, getting on television. No, it's not an opinion. It is defamation, because when you go on publicly to internet and falsely accuse people of things, that does become defamation if you can't prove it. If you can prove it and have evidence, then it's not defamation. But to go out and say that, he's a drug addict, even if you go say that, I heard he raped somebody or something like that, or this inappropriate, it is defamation if you cannot prove it, if you have no evidence.
And then we got Tabitha saying, well, what's wrong with having a goal?
There's nothing wrong with having a goal.
Absolutely nothing.
But
why do you have to
convince people that this really happened to you? I think there's a responsibility of people who are into the paranormal. If you call yourself an investigator, you're trying to get to the truth. You're trying to figure out answers to the other side. But you're convincing your entire following, and now all the people that are watching this television show, that you just happened to accidentally get a doll off Facebook Marketplace and it tried to kill you. You had to call a demonologist. You had to build a box. You have to protect the world from this doll, because if it got into the hands of somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, it could try and kill them too. I mean, this is one tall tale to tell that is scaring the crap out of people when it is entirely made up. If this actually happened to somebody, sure, tell your story. That's fine. But it's made up. It's fake. You went out and you bought haunted, demons dolls, and used complications like medical problems that you had the answer to why it happened to you. You put it on the dolls to get on TV, and people believe it. And that's not right. I'm sorry, that is just not right, because if you want to do stuff like that, write a book, write a fiction book, try and be like Stephen King or something, or write a screenplay, but don't sell it as the truth. Don't be everybody's savior and collect their haunted items for them because you know how to take care of them better than everybody else, when that's just not what happened to you.
Right. Well, I look at it like this, go do whatever you want. Me and Chris, we have opposite views. Go do whatever you fuck you want. But when you're talking about this is the paranormal, this is a scientific field.
Could be.
We're every group, they're either investigators or researchers. Half these people can't investigate or research out their way out of a paper bag, man. Like, I'm a researcher, I'm this, I'm that. Well, there, you can go and you can, go research. You can look things up. You can go Google stuff and you can figure out. Let me tell you something. If people would Google the people's names in the paranormal and then Google the town they're in, they would find some really interesting things about, some people that they didn't know. Do some research. This is it's get social media has brought out, social media has brought out the paranormal entertainer. And paranormal entertainment has brought about, and you see it all over the field. It's not just us.
There's a space for paranormal entertainment. People
There
like
is a
sharing
space.
stories. That's fine.
Absolutely. But if you notice, like, you have a lot of groups that are just doing investigations. They're not looking to film anything. They're not looking to get out there. They go out. They have a small following. I go out. Me and Chris, we investigate. I go out. We get some evidence. I put it on my Facebook page. I got 500 followers. I'm not looking to, set a nuclear bomb on the paranormal field with look what happened. Look what we get. But the paranormal entertaining area of it has become so backstabbing. It's become such a backstabbing. It's become like a cutthroat part of the paranormal, and it's you see, like, the stories that we hear. Just everybody seems to be dealing with somebody in the paranormal that that they're having issues with stalking and this and that. And it's a great field for narcissism, for people who really want to come in and can try to, get a grip in and try to get, I don't know.
Well,
There's people actually out there trying to scam people financially in the paranormal field right now.
Yeah, there are. But we should probably move on to the other.
Yeah, and we'll move on to that. But real quick, Stacy, I'm not hiding any of the comments. If you see one that comes up on the screen, but you don't see it, it's because it's in the different chat room. So I'll try to put them all up. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. Okay, let's move on to the other doll.
So this was kind of more recent. Last year? We were told that she was on TikTok claiming to have found a doll in Bucks County that was like dangerous or something like that. Whatever. I go check it out, and it's this whole video about this doll in a jug, like a glass jug, and it's got like bees nest on the bottom of it, wrapped up in twine, has a Bible on top of it, and it's sitting out somewhere. And she's leaving work. She's gonna go scoop this doll up and make sure no innocent people get hurt by this evil looking doll. And there's this TikTok video out that has like 100,000 likes or something on it.
Yeah, there are a lot of views on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like live and everything. So I go on and I'm looking through the comments, and there's a commenter saying that this person knew that it was an artist that created this. This wasn't some evil doll set to unleash fury of demons and witchcraft and stuff on this town. And that an artist created it, and the artist was about to lose their home and they didn't have anywhere to go with all their art. So this artist had been doing free art Fridays for a while, where he would take something he created and stick it around the town, and then whoever found it got to keep it. And this was one of those items that was sat out somewhere, and she got a call about it and she went and found it. So a couple days go by. People are asking for updates. She gives an update that she feels like God was put her on this earth to help people. And so she had to go get this doll. So
Delusions of grandeur.
No kids would find it or whatever. She knows people with the purest bloodlines, and she's been consulting with everybody she knows about what this doll could be doing and what it means. She put the video out to get information maybe from local businesses that have cameras to see who put it there. She's digging for information. She says she got some information about it. but then didn't share what that information was. So a few days have gone by. I like to debunk things. I
She's the
saw the
best debunker
comment.
I've ever seen.
I saw in the comments that someone mentioned they knew the artist that put it there. So I made a video. At this point, I hadn't even contacted the commenter. I made a video saying, here's the comment. It's an artist. Went to the artist Instagram page. There's the doll in the jug on the artist Instagram page. Like, case closed. He's giving it away. He was asking if anybody wanted it. There was nothing evil about it. Stop drumming up scary nonsense to worry a whole town and 100,000 people over this doll. It was just a piece of art that was sat there. Next thing you know, there's some rants going up. She wasn't happy about me making that video. And I would have made a video like that for anything. I've done it before. There was like a pastor that swore there was something haunting his church and knocked over his podium. And I zoomed in, you can see like the fishing line, the string. I've made other debunk videos. She doesn't take criticism very well. So next thing you know, there's a rant posted around like, I don't know, midnight or something. Mary Jo's contacting the poster, accusing her of knowing us and us maybe having contacted her or something. And this is all, we're behind it. In some way, there's a rant that goes up at midnight. Then that gets taken down. Then the next morning, there's a really crazy rant where she has come to the conclusion that Scott and I know the artist and know the commenter. We all worked together and conspired to put this in front of her daughter's house. So she would leave work, go find this thing, make a video about it, and then we can make her look stupid. That's some crazy accusations.
She was trying to make a TikTok of this crazy thing, and when it kind of Chris debunked it, and so like the artist came out and kind of tried to touch base and tell her what it was. But long story short, she basically accused me of placing it in front of her daughter's house. We didn't even know about this.
Now
like somebody else, we were in a group chat and like April Bussett told us that, did you see Mary Jo's like trying to save Bucks County or something? And we went to, or somebody, I think Chris went to the TikTok and we saw this video and Chris made the video. But long story short is it was me. It's always me. I don't know what, I didn't do anything to this woman at the beginning.
We certainly, for the record, did not plant that there. In fact, it was found in front of a Dunkin' Donuts. Not her daughter's apartment, which I'm assuming is close by somewhere. And then it was in front of a park. We put it there to hurt children. But it was found in front of a Dunkin' Donuts. And we didn't put it there. And then the real kicker about all this is she continued to harass the person who posted the answer she was asking for on her original video for months
harassed her.
Harassed this woman. Well, this person, I'm sorry. Like they go by they, them with the pronouns. Misgendered them the entire time. Really upset them. Really, really, really upset them. And then later in August, the artist who created this passed away. And the original commenter who was friends with the artist and a couple of the artist's friends were requesting to maybe have the doll in the jug back to take to the services. And the harassment started all over again. And the back and forth rants and messages and stuff and accusations of things that were putting people up to break into her house and steal her haunted objects. And we got a cease and desist letter about not telling people to break into her house. And we didn't do any of that stuff. I would have debunked any video online. This one was just super easy. And she had 100,000 people thinking there was something to worry about. And it was insane. It was absolutely insane.
I had absolutely nothing to do with anything. I didn't have anything to place in the doll. I didn't have anything to do with Chris debunking the video. I had nothing to do with anything, but I got called out to be the, it was me. It was on me. I placed the doll in front of the house and she made a TikTok and she put that out.
Yeah. She accused him because he's a PI. He could find out where her daughter lived and planned to put this in front of her daughter's place in this park. literally let's just accuse Scott of this, which is again wrong. You don't do that. You don't do that.
Again, I followed Chris off the team because of what happened. And after that, it's just been, I'm a drug addict, I'm this. And again, this went on like everywhere she went. Like it was a, when you meet up with her, if you spend time with her, the first 15-20 minutes is a big, these are the people that wronged me. This is what's going on. I'm a victim kind of thing. That's what I saw when I was around her all the time. I've been hearing from all over, from people who don't even know me, contacted me, asking us what is going on, what is with this woman. She said all these crazy things about me. Look, again, I don't know the people that she's saying. I don't know what she's saying them to. I have I have like 50 friends on my friends list that are into the paranormal. Ignorance is bliss. I don't know what she's saying. I don't really care. It's not a, it's not a, that's not a huge deal for me. I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to build a reputation in the paranormal. That's not what I want. But when somebody out there is just trying to go through people, and this is what they do. It's not really about me. It's about the things that she does to people. And I'm not the only one. There's a whole bunch of people. I know there's a bunch of people in the messages that are supporting her. And there's a bunch of people who have been through and dealt with what she puts people through. There are people in the messages who have literally gone through severe psychic shit because of the games, or psychotic shit, or psychological shit. I'm sorry, with the games she plays. Like, she baits you. She's got multiple spy accounts, and then she accuses you, like baiting. She'll put something out and lie about you, and, it gets back to you because she puts it out on public. It's the games. And then once it gets back to you, when you respond to it, you're psycho, you're crazy. It's those kind of things. You could be done with her for a while, and then all of a sudden she throws a whole story out about you and what happened. Now you want to answer that. You want to speak up for yourself. These are
people
games,
have the right to speak up for
psychological
themselves.
games. And then they become the victim. She starts screaming, I'm being attacked. And you see it all the time, even on her pace when she posts things on Facebook. I mean, these are all games that these kind of people play. She posts certain things public, and they're all real spiritual and nice because, you want to come across like that, especially in the paranormal. You want to convince everybody how spiritual you are. And then, it's a love fest and everything. And then you can read it in the things how they start directing, and then she starts attacking people who have wronged her. She takes the positivity, and then in that's where she baits you. And you don't even know the people that are helping her and responding to her and talking to her and supporting her. And supporting her, they don't even realize that they're being involved in it. There's psychological games. I said there are people who are really are messed up by this in the head. And it's, again, what is she doing us to now? It's not necessarily about what she's doing to us now. Okay, it's what she's also doing to other people. She's playing these. It's not only us. Like, again, I only have a problem with one person in the paranormal. I don't have a problem with any of her friends. Any of these people want to come out and talk. I don't know these people.
Well, I just want to say, like, there's been so many instances where she will go on an investigation with somebody. She'll use them to get into their location, or she'll use them to get into a hobby and then attack them, or they'll have something she wants. But then, like, their project will get ruined. Maybe they'll be filming a show. There was 2 shows I know of that she was involved with that things went south, and then they got attacked. Because she caused problems, and then they have to refilm things. The Enfield Demon House and Jay's situation, he's put that out there, but she's gone after him and attacked him. And she has a habit of worming her way in through love bombing and we were meant to meet, and fate brought us together and things like that, and then we'll trash them and put long rants out there. And I
Right.
think you even had an instance similar with one of your events. Like, she will ruin an event. It's just not right. It's just not right.
Yeah, it's ego. There's a lot of ego. And I
I don't know if
didn't know. I
Brandon
didn't
has
know.
anything though that he wants to say about like what he went through, or anybody else that's here wants to talk about what they've been through.
I just
With
want to
her
say
attack.
real quick. I didn't want to turn this into like I wanted to tell our story. Like, I just really wanted to tell our story, but our story really is very detailed. There's a lot of shit that, a lot of little pieces, and there's so much to it. And it goes back, because this has been going on back and forth between us for 3 years now. And please, you're a public figure. Going back and forth over the years, but there, to just kind of point out what she does, a lot of people have been through this with this person. Again, we're just trying to, you don't want to come off like, oh, like this, like that. It's not about jealousy. It's not about, it's not about like, oh, she did this. I'm not jealous. Trust me, I'm going to fucking Mardi Gras next year or next week, for my 2nd year in a row. I do what I want. I'm not jealous of anybody. I live a great life. I have everything that I want to do in my life. I have the freedom to do it. I'm not jealous of everybody, but that's what people want to scream, is everybody else is jealous because it's
We're not
happening to
all
this
in
person.
this to get on TV or make a name for ourselves or get on a Paracon flyer. That's not what, but that's what everybody's accused of, that wants to just defend themselves. So I don't know if anybody else, if Brandon wants to say anything though, because
I do know that Larissa just gave me permission, Scott, for you can bring up her if you would like.
I mean, God,
I mean, if you don't, that's fine. I'm just telling you what.
Well, Larissa got attacked for liking posts that Scott was putting up, and this is one of the situations where Scott says like he's not innocent.
No, I'm not innocent. No.
Scott was putting up posts and having fun with. Sometimes you gotta laugh or you'll cry when you go through stuff like this, and he's putting up posts, and the people that came along and laughed at the posts, they didn't necessarily understand what the posts were about. They just thought it was funny. And when Mary Jo reacted to what Scott had put up, she shared screenshots of every single person that like left a comment or left a like, which with
some
the
of these
amount
people
of
aren't
volume
even paranormal people.
can be detrimental to people. Like they're just scrolling through and they see something and they react to it and think it's funny. Next thing somebody's calling them out and screenshotting it and sharing it, they could get attacked. And then Larissa was one of those people that showed up, thought it was funny, but she had no idea what it was about.
Right. So I had said to Larissa, she liked it. So I said to Larissa, oh, I will, you don't know what it's about. I'll tell you. So I called her and we talked and I told her, and then she put a post back up and said, oh God, that's hysterical. So Mary Jo, called her out for it. Larissa contacted Mary Jo and they actually spoke, and they were also texting back and forth. And Larissa said, look, at the time when I liked it, I didn't know what it was. And Mary Jo's response was like, I don't believe it. This is what it is. I don't believe
it's kind of like a doxing sort of thing. Like, these people don't like me. These people are making fun of me. They really weren't. They just saw a post and they thought it was funny. Really, nobody knew the story.
Nobody knew the
that
story.
liked it, other than the people that were involved with it. So
I mean, she leaves comments. She for everybody in the paranormal, she almost has like a little emoji for most people. I know I'm a mushroom. She's a crystal ball. So when she puts something up there and says something negative, and then you see the little emoji, that's a slander towards that person.
But I think Larissa, it went back further though. There was an instance years and years ago
Yeah.
where Larissa was on a live. She didn't have a large following or wasn't deep into the paranormal. And I think Mary Jo showed up and made fun of the way she was using dowsing rods or something. And then Larissa came back and fought back and said something she regretted and apologized for it. But it continued to be a point of contention for years. I guess she just got on Mary Jo's bad side forever, despite apologizing and stuff. And she's just one of the people that Mary Jo's put a few rants up about and trashed over the years. And if Larissa ever is in the mood to share like her story, I know she's shared her side of the story via her posts. I don't know if they're public on her page or whatever, but she's kind of been attacked unwarranted just for simply liking a post that she thought was funny.
Yeah, and if Larissa wants to answer, she can. She's got her a very good platform that she can go on and do that.
Yeah, sure.
But she had
And now
mentioned
that it's out there,
yeah.
people can go look and get her side of the story,
Yep.
if they want to find it or contact her.
Oh, I mean, she's yeah. Larissa has a way of getting it out.
But she did say that you could mention her. And I mean, one thing that I have noticed is that she likes to take Paracon posters, and when she posts them, she'll take people and move their pictures and things.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's right, but that's neither here nor there in the whole story of this. But I say let's bring it together in a pretty bow, and we'll take it out. I'm glad that you guys are here to tell your side of the story. Hopefully, after this, you guys can relax and enjoy Mardi Gras.
I want this to be done. Like I'm tired of the back and forth for years. I really am.
And again, I do know, like I said, I'm not innocent. I have played along with her. But again, she likes to cry victim, but she's far from it. Yeah, but some people just they want to believe their friend, or they wanted this or that. And,
they want to support. I mean, I was one of those people. I believed her for a year and a half. I had to go on an apology tour when our friendship ended because I believed so many horrible things she said about people.
Yeah, I mean,
I had to make a lot of apologies because I didn't give people the chance that I should have. I went off of what she had to say. And it's just a matter, like, my point of this is just be careful. Like, I was hurt. I wasn't even mad or angry. I was hurt that my friend would do this to me. And I just don't like other people. I see people coming to us all the time trying to make sense of what just happened to them after dealing with her. Like, what was that? Who is this person? Because she will turn on a dime. And, if people want to work with her, if they want to be friends with her, fine. That's fine. But at least our warning's out there now, that just be careful. Just be careful. If you have something you've worked for and there's a potential that it could get ruined, or you could just be friends and be hurt. That's enough. That's enough to psychologically go through having somebody turn on you and hurt you and accuse you of things later that you never did. Just flat out lies being made up.
There are a bunch of people who care because there's quite a few people in the comments who've been hurt by her. Amanda East, she reached out to Amanda East, who also makes dolls. Mary wanted to start making dolls. Amanda East reached out to Mary and asked her questions. And
no,
Amanda
I think Mary reached out to Amanda and asked
Amanda. I'm sorry. That's exactly. I'm sorry. Mary reached out to Amanda East and had some questions for her. And Amanda East was very nice and helped her and whatnot. And, again, they had a misunderstanding, but Mary comes out and trashes her and trashes Amanda's business. Again, this is another person. It's not paranormal, it's dolls, but it's still, she views everything as a competition.
Well, and the story
you're in it or not.
It's not, Mary's not telling the truth of the way things went down. And I've seen the text messages and the proof of exactly what was said and exactly what was exchanged, and it's almost the exact opposite. So, and it hurts people's feelings when they get taken advantage of when they try and help somebody, and it turns around and now they're constantly being watched and stalked and attacked and harassed by somebody who did them wrong.
Well, I definitely want to thank you both for coming on. We've got the info out there. Now it's just up to everybody.
Well, thank you for having us and giving us the opportunity. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. And now the info's out there. It's just up to everybody to decide what you want to do with it.
This is it. This is
there
is no further mission. This is it. Like the info's out there. Do with it what you will. I'm gonna go live my life.
And then if anybody wants to come on the show as a rebuttal or say their side of the story, anybody is welcome to. Just reach out to me, shamansundays@gmail.com. But I wanted, I just wanted to make sure you guys were given a platform to tell your story, and I hope you feel better.
It's appreciated. Thank you.
Yep. And you guys just stick around for a couple of minutes after we go off the live, and we'll chit chat.
Okay.
And I just want to say to everybody in the paranormal, just real quick, like whether
Love you too, man.
whether just really like just be careful out there. Just protect yourself. Don't just
it's just a shame you have to. It really is.
Just be careful out there. Just there are people out there who really aren't out there really looking for your best interest at heart, especially in the paranormal entertainment area where people are looking to get ahead and make a name for themselves.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to drop you guys into the background while I finish up the show, and we'll be with you. Yep. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Record numbers, man. Apparently we hit a little button here. But awesome. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please, if you're on my YouTube, like and share and subscribe and all that, and the Facebooks. So next Sunday is going to be a freaking fun show. It's going to be called Shaman Sundays Declassified, where I will have former high-ranking CIA operative John Karaku on next Sunday, and we're going to be talking, the Iraq War. We're going to talk some stuff because the veteran side of me has questions, and I bet you the CIA man has answers. So I hope everybody, Brandon, be prepared. I'm always prepared for whatever. Like I always say when I end my show, guys, it's not about surviving the storm, but it's how you dance in the rain that counts. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next Sunday.